on my video all about how to pick the best toilet for your bathroom remodel. Greg Rosenheck asks, please, I know zero about toilets. I can't find the answer to this. What is the difference between Class 5 technology, Aquapiston, and Aquapiston canister? Also, am I better with American Standard? I like to use wipes to clean my Royal American. The euphemism? I prefer the name of Kohler to up the value of my house, so which toilet or technology would I be able to use wipes as opposed to toilet paper and is quiet? Please help. Thank you. Greg, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. We're going to get into it right now. Welcome back, Remodelites, to another episode of Quick Tip Tuesday, where I dive into your questions, comments, and concerns. I'm Dave with Remodel Media, and for the last 17 years, I've been helping people put together kitchens, baths, outdoor kitchens, and various other home renovation projects. I'm on a mission to eliminate regret, and I do that by bringing you the latest tips, tricks, and products for your home remodel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, ring that bell for notifications so you never miss an episode. So Greg, let's dive into the Kohler technologies. I'll address your American Standard question here in a moment. As far as Kohler's concerned, you have your Class 5, your Class 5 dual flush. Class 5 was your very first back in the early 2000s, and Class 5 was Kohler's very first bulk flush toilet. It included things like a larger trap, a larger flush valve, and a fully glazed trapway, so things didn't stick as much. It's a really good option. It's not your best. You have your Class 5 dual flush, which works pretty much about the same, but you flip the lever one way for big jobs and the other way for little jobs. Class 5 was Kohler's response to Toto's, at the time, G-Max flush, which they had already been doing for the last several decades. Greg, you asked about the difference between an Aquapiston and an Aquapiston canister. Now, the Aquapiston canister is the thing that makes the Aquapiston work, so they are essentially one and the same. The Aquapiston has a lot of the same hallmarks as the Class 5 flush. However, the idea is that the seal on the Aquapiston is actually going to last longer, and I can honestly say that I have seen that in the field. Your traditional flapper flush, you're very likely to replace that flapper every year, every 2 years, versus I have people going 3, 4, 5 years before they are going to replace the seal on that Aquapiston. And that is the difference with Aquapiston flush. As far as flushing power, it's equal to the Class 5. In fact, many of the Class 5 toilets, like your Kohler Cimarron, use an Aquapiston instead of a flapper. So, in other words, Aquapiston is not necessarily a flush technology, if that makes sense. And then, of course, you have your Revolution 360. Revolution 360 is essentially Kohler's response to the Toto Tornado flush, previously known as the Cyclone flush. Basically, you have all of the hallmarks of a Class 5 system with the bulk flush, but the added cleanability of the jets circling around the bowl. And these Revolution 360 jets will give you a cleaner flush as opposed to the standard washdown jets. However, Greg, I gotta be honest with you, as far as wipes are concerned, the toilet will pass the wipes through just fine. But wipes are horrible for your plumbing system. You take it from any plumber or any sewer worker who's been on a service call for such a thing, they do not disintegrate. They instead glom together with other bits of material and things like that to create these big, I believe they call them fatbergs. That's a real thing. You can look that up. So if I was being your friend, I would honestly tell you, invest in a bidet. You will come out cleaner on the other end, pun definitely intended. You'll invest a lot less money over time in wipes, and your plumbing system will thank you. I've done a few videos on it, and I'll put a link to some of them in the description below. So as far as American Standard goes, the American Standard Plumbing Group has been for sale since I started back in 2005. I remember hearing rumors about it. At one point, Kohler was even going to buy them. That deal never went through, though. But you know who did buy them? Is Toto's chief rival in Japan, a company called Lixil, which you have probably never heard of Lixil if you've never lived in Japan. Why would you? Lixil actually purchased the American Standard Plumbing Group and the Grohe Faucet Company, and they actually came out with, several years ago, American Standard's high-end line called DXV, which stands for Decade 15, which is where you'll see the nicer designs and the more interesting products. By and large, the American Standard toilets that you see out there are usually not super decorative. Kohler has that market cornered. With Kohler, you can get a toilet, a sink, a tub, a shower, everything to match in their various suites and ensembles. With American Standard, they don't necessarily have that. You can also get designer colors in Kohler that you cannot get in American Standard. As far as flushing power, certainly your American Standard Champion is probably your most requested model, specifically the Champion 4, so that's going to have a really decent flush on it. Again, however, coming back to the wipe issue, I would strongly urge you to abandon that in favor of a bidet. And as far as the noise factor that you asked about, pretty much all of them are equally quiet. None of these toilets are the jet engine types, the ones that have the bladder on the inside that is pressurized. None of these are a pressure tank toilet, so none of them are going to sound like a jet engine taking off in your bathroom. All of these guys are going to be super quiet. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some good information out of that episode. Go ahead and click here for more videos. Go ahead and click here to subscribe. And make sure you check out the description below for relevant links to some of the products that we discussed today. And leave your comments and questions down below because I love answering them. As always, I'll see you in the next one.